Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. My name is VGY, I hope you're doing fantastically well today. And I've got some juice for you. Today's going to be a Kano Shao Kahn synergy guide. Now, Kano was, in the beta, probably the most used cameo. Because he's all of his moves are pretty much ambush, and be the main ones. He's obviously got the laser, which is an ambush, but he's just all ambush, and he provides really nice utility for some decent recharge rate. Now, I just like Kano, especially MK1 Kano. MK1 Kano is like one of my favorite characters in MK1. I just like Kano in general. So I've tried to force using him. It's just he makes you lose health, which kind of sucks. And if you have 1100, there's not really a reason to not want 1100 health, especially when there are certain cameos, cough cough Kung Lao, that don't take health, that also give you immense utility. You know what I mean? So it's hard to justify going Kano, but I do like him with Shao, and I will show you why in a second. Before we hop in, thank you so much for the support on yesterday's video. It's doing fantastically well. I know it was a longer one, but you guys seem to appreciate the longer video style, so that is good. And some variety in terms of the characters went up against. It's not just Scorp Cyrax, lol. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy what's coming. Hope you enjoyed the source. Sit back, relax, and I'll see you guys in the guide. Alright guys, hello. We're in the lab with the boys. Let's just get straight in. As I always do at the start of these cameo synergy guides, I must mention, Kano obviously takes health away from you, which sucks. It's not great. But we'll see if him taking health is worth what he gives you. Now, he has 3 moves. This laser, which is absolute death on block, which it doesn't show you, but like Sub-Zero can probably punish this with slide from here. That's how death on block this is. So you won't see this much. It's cool. It's nice to have though, just a beam projectile whenever you want one. On hit, it does some pretty decent damage. 9%. Not terrible. Like, not at all. I believe that's all you can do with it. Yeah, eye laser. Very, very active, and yeah, that's that. Not very useful to Shao's game, but I mean, again, it's a beam projectile that you can shoot at any point, so for that reason, it's pretty good. You know, anyone having a beam is never bad. In addition to that, he has the knives, which is back cameo, ambush, and he has ball, which is forward cameo, ambush. Now, the knives are pretty good for pressure situations, so, for example, you can do stuff like that. And your plus there, which is really nice. And obviously mix up the timing of that. It also helps you go into axe slam a bit better. So let's say you do 2-2 axe slam, there's obviously a gap here. Now obviously when you're mixing up your pressure, you could do something like this to try and fill in that gap. So like you pull Kano before you do the axe slam, for example, and try and fill it in that way, which is really nice. Other things you can do are, just before the axe comes out, you can obviously call the Kano knives, and it will make it so, because the axe is overhead, they have to block the knives, which means that you're plus. So for example, something like this. So you can keep pressure on. Which is actually pretty good. You can also do this with Kano Ball if you wish, for a mid. So, for example, if you want to do something like this, you can do that as well if they try and armor out the knives or try and get out the knives in any way, which is pretty nice. I'll save Kano Ball for a bit later because it has some utility that I want you guys to see, but we'll sit with knives for now. Knives obviously as well is a really good way to just get in, as they're very plus on block, obviously, and they're just, you know, Kano, a lot of the time, you can just make him appear off screen by doing stuff like that when you're at full screen. And he's obviously going to make things like that, plus. There's a lot going for Kano, to be honest, and you can do things like this too. To just give your block strings just a bit of extra pressure, a bit of extra chip, and you're of course plus here. Also, another thing about Kano, which I think is pretty good to know, is that his grab is very good. It gives you very good screen positioning here, because it gives you a dash full standing 2, a dash back 1, and a dash sweep. All work after Kano's grab. Of course, they can backdash and wake up here, but a standing 2 will catch them, which is really, really nice. But yeah, back onto the knives. Like I said, it's good in situations like this, after Axe Slam, because you can just pressure if you want to. And you can delay it a little bit as well. Like, this won't jail, but you can obviously mix it up with early knife, which will jail because they have to block overhead. But then you can start doing stuff like this, which is a bit of a layer call, and then that's so plus that you'll be able to mix and they can't armor, which is really nice. Now, moving on to Kano Ball. Kano Ball is an interesting one. So, the best use I've found for Kano Ball is in the setup aspect. Like that. So, that will give you a launching low after any combo ender. So, for example, let's just do a B&B here. I did too early there, but you'll still get damage and it's safe, right? I'm doing it too early. But yeah, so essentially how you have to do this is you have to make it so you have to let go of the Kano Ball as you hit the low. So I'll just do a short combo here for demonstration purposes. Like that. See there? You gotta hit the low, then release Kano Ball, then obviously the string continues and you launch. Because he's airborne, which is really, really good. And obviously if it gets blocked, you're plus, because Kano Ball. And if you hit the overhead, or if you want to go to the overhead, excuse me, you just cancel Kano Ball, like so. Or you can obviously go ahead with it, but it makes the combo a bit harder. Like that. Not harder, excuse me, it scales more. My apologies. But it doesn't scale by that much that you'd not want to do it. You know? So that's really, really nice. Another thing about Kano Ball, which is also applicable to knives, is that you can do it after the overhead to make it plus. So, for example, if you do this, you can obviously cancel the Kano Ball if it hits. And if it gets blocked, you do that. Which is really nice. Very, very good stuff on that. And also, you can mix that in with knives if you so wish. And just think of Kano as just he makes everything safe or plus, essentially. And also gives you a full screen beam projectile. Yes, it's death on block, but you know what I mean. But yeah, so more on the mixing front. When you're in Axeless, obviously your pressure is very one-dimensional in that you have this, you have the low, and then you have the standing 2 string. Kano allows you to do a lot with this because he gives you stuff where you can do that, which on hit launches and on block obviously jails. Like, they can't armor this. If I get Sub-Zero to armor here, it should not work. Now I'm about to look like a silly man here, but I don't believe this works. We'll test it though for the people. Okay, he can armor. No, he won't be able to if I do that correctly. Yeah, as you can see there, he can't armor. So you can do things where you go in for the 50-50 and you're safe. And obviously on hit, if this happens, you get a combo, which is really nice. There's no risk to going for this, which is huge. Because it means you get access to a launching low that's plus/safe and gapless. And a launching overhead that's already safe. Because there's no reason to make the overhead safe, because the overhead's already safe. You know? You get this into just infinite meterless damage. If I can demonstrate that for you. As you can see there, big damage. For no meter spent, that's pretty good in this game. And on top of that, you get a launching low, which, you know, we're never going to complain about that. Damage isn't as high, but you can't scoff at it. They can't do anything about that. They can't armor it. Especially one-hit armor, because you're doing this low into a 10-frame special, so that can beat armor that's slow. Like, it won't beat Johnny Shadow Kick, for example, because that's 8 frames, but it will beat a lot of armor moves. Another thing about Kano Ball, which I mentioned before about pressure, is that you can do it off of strings. So, for example, 222 is a really good one to Kano Ball off of, because the last hit takes so long. Oh yes, obviously you can armor through that. Go away, Sub-Zero. That's just showing why Bashao's bad. For example, that will jail right there. Which is really nice for pressure situations if they're not armoring the last hit. You can also do another standing 2 if you want. You can do a sweep if you want. There's lots of options here that you can do. You can do a grab. If they don't armor this last hit, you're very plus. You can obviously do the same thing off the back one too. You can do knives if you want, like so. And you can also do Kano Ball like this for that extra bit of pressure. Like, the Kano Ball just isn't used for setup, which is quite nice. On the combo front, I haven't really found much. Kano isn't really a combo character. But there are instances where you can do like Kano knives mid-air to extend the combo a little bit. Like that, I've seen before. Like that, but I guess if you want extra corner carry, you can do that. But I don't think there's really much need for this, because you want to save the knives and the Kano Ball for other stuff. Like, you know, string pressure, like I mentioned before. Like that, to keep them honest. And then you can also add the delay, like I mentioned, which is really good. And then when they start armoring this, you just don't do it. Like, you just block, because you're -3 and you're chilling. But yeah, it gives you a lot of safety, really. Like, you can just walk up and do stuff like this, and you're safe. /plus. You can do stuff like this, and it will, you know, be plus or safe. You can buff on block if you want to. You know, it's like, you have so many options here. Like this string, you can buff on block, and you're plus here. And this string isn't really that useful in other manners, but with this, oh, my controller's gonna die. Rip. But yeah, it's like, he's just really good for rushdown. He's good for pressure. He's really good on the knockdown as well, like I mentioned. So if I get a knockdown like this, like that, really, really good. And obviously the overhead is safe anyway, but this makes it even better. And it also makes the back 3 2-string gapless. So if you, like, call Kano Ball here, let's pretend he was blocking there. That is now gapless, which is really nice. But yeah, Kano's really cool. I hope you guys can see some sort of light with him, because I think there is some. I just have to do some more experimentation, and I will let you know what it's like once I have done a lot of it. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the Synergy Guide today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the outro. Alright guys, that's going to be the end of today's Synergy Guide. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought in the comment section. Also, if you made it to the end, put laser eyeball in the comment section so that I know you made it. For those asking how I think of this stuff, I don't. It just comes to my head, and sometimes it's waffle and sometimes it's not, so it's fine. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and it was really nice making this video because I really like Kano, and I think there's potential here, but like I say, I have to dive more into it. But that being said, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow for another video. Take it easy, everybody. Have a good one.